Hey guys, it's Andrea from the blog Pine and Prospect Home, and today I want to talk to you guys about baskets. What I look for when I'm shopping for baskets for my home, and then some different ways that I use baskets throughout my home for both decorating and storage purposes. So first of all, let me just start off by saying that I'm rarely looking specifically for baskets when I thrift shop. Most of the baskets in my home that I use for decorating, I just happened to find. I got lucky that day and I happened to be thrifting or garage sailing or antiquing, and I discovered that particular basket. So I think a lot of it is just keeping your eyes out for certain things. So when I do see baskets, whenever I'm shopping, there are a couple things that I like to keep in mind. And first of all, I really just, before anything else, look at the coloring. I try to avoid baskets that are too orange or red. That just doesn't fit really with any of the other wood tones in my house. I do have warmer wood tones throughout my home, but nothing that's too dark or too orange or red in color. So I try to stick to lighter tones, softer hues. Even baskets that have some weathering on them I love. So that's what I look for when I'm shopping for baskets. The second thing I look for is, of course, the condition of the basket. The only way I think that you could really use a basket that's really damaged or broken, if it's really cool and really unique and just worth rescuing, I think it could be maybe neat to hang it on the wall perhaps. I even had a basket once that I found at a thrift store, and the bottom was really just falling apart. But it was a really nice size and it just was really beautiful, it really spoke to me. And I think it was like $2. So I brought it home and I just used it in my patio area, and the bottom did eventually fall out, but I put like flowers in there, and I think I even used it when I did a fall tablescape last year. And it's just really beautiful out on our little pea gravel patio that we have. So you could think outside the box when it comes to broken or damaged baskets, but for the most part I try to make sure the basket is in good condition when I purchase it. I also like to look at the shape of the basket. Is it unique? Is it different? This is something that I think is so important for us to look for items for our home that are different from everyone else. We don't all have to have the same exact things, and that's why I love thrifting and looking at antique stores for different items, because that's when you really find treasures that no one else can go out and grab. And I know sometimes that's frustrating as a blogger when I have people asking, you know, where did you get this? What's your source? But at the same time, it's neat. It's neat that we can be unique and we can have things in our homes that nobody else has. So I really try to look at the shape of baskets, and you know, the way the handle is woven, the way the basket is shaped or formed. I have a basket in my entryway that is one of the things I'm asked about the most, and it has 3 different tiers. I had never seen anything really like that before. And so look for unique shapes whenever you're searching for baskets. So the last thing that I would tell you to look for or think about whenever you're shopping for baskets is to consider how you will use that basket. So I used to just buy baskets all the time, especially little baskets. I would come home with them from thrift stores a lot, and I ended up with just so many, and they didn't really have a purpose or a use, and they just kind of became clutter, and I ended up having to donate most of them back or sell them. So really think about the purpose of the basket if you're considering purchasing it at the store. The first thing, of course, that comes to mind when I think about baskets is storage. But there are so many other ways that I want to try to get you guys to think about when you're considering baskets. One type of basket that I really love and use throughout my house a lot are wall baskets. And basically what I mean by that is one side of the basket is flat, and it can be hung on a wall or a door or some type of flat surface. A perfect example of this are the baskets above one of my white chairs in my living room. I have 2 baskets, and the top basket was purchased at a thrift store, I think for $1.50, and the basket below that was a garage sale find. and I just hung them on the wall one on top of the other and filled them with some faux eucalyptus, and now they have become beautiful wall decor in my living room. There's another basket in my dining room that was a large flat basket, and I believe it was intended to be a tray, and so it was marked salvage because it was sort of bent and shaped oddly, but by nailing it to the wall, it now becomes this beautiful wall decor. Another type of basket that I like to search for, and you might not necessarily look in the basket section when you're shopping for these, but I sometimes shop in the purse section at thrift stores as well, because I found really beautiful woven bags and purses that are perfect for wall decor. Another example of this would be my closet door. As you walk into our home, the first thing you see is the closet door. And the basket that is hanging on that door was a thrift store find. It was $5, and the texture was so beautiful. It was woven in a really unique way that I hadn't seen before. The color was gorgeous, and so I snatched that up, and the handles are perfect because they can just be hooked onto a little cup hook and filled with greenery, and you instantly have this beautiful wall decor. Another thing to consider with baskets is baskets look really beautiful when they're grouped together. There are a couple of baskets in my bedroom. One of them is from Target, and I use it to store some throw blankets in our bedroom. And then there's a smaller basket next to it that was thrifted, and I just loved how this basket looked. It was such a pretty color and very unique in shape, and they just make such a statement grouped together like that. If you have a smaller space or a smaller home like we do, and you love baskets just as much as I do, but you don't have a lot of floor space for them, look up. Look up in your home and see if you can find areas where you could maybe put baskets up above, maybe above your kitchen cupboards. In my case, I put a very large, probably a vintage laundry basket, I would say that it was. I put one above our fridge, and I love that it adds warmth to that area. My fridge is not as tall as all of the other cabinets, so there was some dead space there, some odd space. So this basket is perfect, and I put some faux stems in there, and it's such a beautiful accent, and it pops so beautifully against the stone wall behind it. So I've already sort of mentioned this throughout the video, but I wanted to talk about where I hunt for baskets. So